Cyclops can also have a Jeep. Most superheroes can have Jeeps, but not Spider-Man. That seems like a bad car for the city.
Is most superheroes rich?
Some of them are.
Because I feel like if you're rich, you should get to have a car. Greetings, web slingers. It's me, Brian Altano, with my best friend Max Scoville, and this is Up at Noon, your weekly comedy variety pop culture. What?
Why did they give Spider-Man a jet in Homecoming or Far From Home, whatever it's called?
What do you?
Toy, and he has a jet. Spider-Man, he doesn't need a jet. Look at that. He falls out. He swings around on his webs.
That's a
15-year-old boy. Where did he learn to fly the jet? They better not have this in the movie, or I won't go see it.
Probably has a provisional license.
I think it's ridiculous. Did they give him a crossbow too? Is that what that is? I'm tired of this. Superhero movies have gone too far. It makes no sense for Spider-Man to have any sort of vehicle besides a pizza bike.
Okay, I agree with you. I don't think that that's going to be in the movie just because they made a toy of it. Like, he's not going to also have a giant crossbow because you can't hide that anywhere. Where would you even put this? Anyway, we also played with some aliens, which are creatures from the darkness of the sky, aka space, you big booty ass bitch.
You can't say that. Hello everybody, Max and Brian here to talk to you about xenomorphs.
Alien!
Yes, aliens as they're colloquially known. If you grew up in the 90s like we did-ish, you might remember the Kenner Aliens action figure line, which was a very popular toy line based on the extremely violent R-rated 1986 James Cameron movie.
This was a really cool set of alien soldier figures and then aliens themselves, xenomorphs, but they're all sort of kid-friendly enough to justify selling them into Toys R Us. They were a tough sell on your parents who would walk into a store and be like, why do you need this?
What are these abominations?
Yeah, and so a lot of them were based loosely on or directly on actual real-world animal designs. And so there were gorillas, there were snakes, scorpions, bulls. I think this is a panther.
Yeah.
They all had funny little action features like headbutts and stuff like that.
When you're, 6 or 7 or 8 years old or whatever, this wasn't that hard to swallow. You're like, okay, cool, monsters. They fight the Space Marines.
Yep.
That's rad. You didn't think too hard about the fact that, I don't know, Sergeant Apone gets killed off in the movie. Bishop didn't have a Gatling gun. Why were these characters getting these colorful reboots based on, again, an extremely mature property? You just kind of were like, I will buy these toys. Decades later, we're still kind of like, what was the story with that? And the answer is, in order to promote Alien 3, 20th Century Fox was actually preparing a cartoon series called Operation Aliens, which would have kind of given the Space Marines kind of a G.I. Joe-ish reboot.
Yep. It's hard to contextualize, but during this era, they would take a lot of very expensive, very lucrative, very popular adult franchises and transform them into Saturday morning kids cartoons. RoboCop got the treatment.
Rambo.
Platoon got an NES game. Like, things that didn't really connect, just kind of happened.
An odd time. The weird thing is there are a handful of collectibles that did make it into the market with the Operation Aliens branding. I think there was a puzzle and a board game, which both have like really cool, goofy-ass 90s art. But the Operation Aliens brand was completely dropped, allegedly because Alien 3 underperformed at the box office.
Right.
Unsurprisingly, David Fincher's haunting prison planet tale of a woman with a shaved head killing herself didn't really resonate with the 6 to 12 crowd who were buying Kenner action figures. Now, an even better kind of weird windfall of this is that the toy company NECA, who makes high-end modern collectibles for discerning adult collectors like ourselves, has started basically doing modern reboots of these original characters and figures. Here we've got the sort of the weird non-Sigourney Weaver blue-eyed Ripley side by side with Apone. This is like the most perfect kind of match made in heaven toy line you could possibly have. They sent over a few of these. The most recent series is the Snake Alien, the Scorpion Alien, which the old Kenner toy would actually explode like a crash test dummy when you hit a button on it. These don't have action features. They're just extremely gross and detailed.
Cool.
And it's just really cool to see all this, and the amount of sort of weird detail and non-pervy fan service they've put into this is phenomenal. Right on down to the card backs. I open them because they're all clamshell packaging, but they very much look like this.
Yep.
The same color scheme, all very 90s and goofy, and they even come with the individual comic books.
Yeah, which you can see rolled up right in there.
Yeah, which was kind of a cool sell. Oddly enough, I don't think those are collected anywhere, but they've got wonderfully kind of goofy like 90s art, and they've reprinted all of the originals. And with Apone, he came with a bunch of stickers, the old Kenner version. The new one also comes with stickers in the same scale, which I think is just adorable. I don't think any like collectors are really going to be putting the stickers on. They don't really adhere too well to like the sculpting, but it's a nice touch anyway.
To follow the through line here, Alien, a gritty and realistic, mature, violent series of horror films, got a cartoony, sort of hyper-stylized, kind of kid-friendly action figure line, which now NECA is making gritty, realistic action figure versions of now. And that rules, because it's basically taking some of our favorite old toys and re-envisioning them the way that maybe we thought we remember them. It's sort of like when a video game gets an HD remake or something like that.
But if you are an Aliens fan of either the 90s version or all the movie stuff, NECA's making a lot of cool toys, and it's just awesome to see this incredible, strange little corner of pop culture get some new life breathed into it.
Yeah, so what are your favorite toys from the 80s and 90s, and how would you like to see them get gritty remakes like these are right here? We're seeing some stuff like that with like Ghostbusters and even Power Rangers to an extent, but nothing really on this scale, and I think it's because the source material is so gross and filthy.
They're so scary.
Terrifying. I can't believe my mom let me buy these things.
My mom was like scared of them. She didn't like them. She bought me Predators for some reason. The Predator rips out a man's spine, but the alien bursts from the woman's stomach. So
they don't even have eyes.
They're so scary.
I love them.
Anyway.
They don't make sense.
They make a lot of sense.
No, it's like a scorpion and a dog.
Got in the zoo, and then they made aliens out of them.
What the zoo did they get into to get the aliens turned into a scorpion?
That's what Rennie Harlin's Alien 3 was going to be about.
What about the bull? You think they keep a bull at a zoo?
You and I both know that they have scorpions at the zoo.
They don't have a bull at the zoo.
Frightened us, and we ran out of the insect house screaming.
That's true, and a grown man called us wimps. He actually used a worse word, which I can't say.
All right, this actually is the latest in a long list of egregious superhero vehicles. Superman had a spaceship with a battering ram on it. The X-Men rode around in a big spring break party boat together, where they would drop Nightcrawler into the water even though he could teleport.
Superman really has a spaceship?
Spider-Man had a car with legs on it for some reason.
The only way to crawl down buildings!
What?
Superboy had a motorcycle that could fly, which I think he actually does have in the comics.
I mean, that's kind of like the Ninja Turtles have a van, but they need a van because they can't fly. You got me all befuddled now. Befoozled. Befunched. Just like my upcoming film that I've made about the Nintendo Switch and some video games that you can purchase on it. Purchase.
Nintendo is a happy, family-friendly company, but when Mario and Kirby go to sleep at night, awful, strange, nasty things are
afoot on your Nintendo Switch, and you probably didn't even know it.
Here are the 5 weirdest, grossest games to fuck your shit up on Nintendo Switch. Bold Boy is a point-and-click horror adventure game about a glowing orb-headed child who awakens to find nightmarish things have happened in his wet, grotesque home. The puzzles are smart, the art is great, and you can finish the whole game in just a few hours. Plus, it has fun things for the whole family, like snot tentacles, decapitated pig heads, and tons of shit and piss. Getting potty mouth today. Manuel Samuel is the story of a snobby f***er who dies and goes to the afterlife where he regains control of his body parts one by one, leading to hilariously slapstick, grotesque body horror. Even mundane shit like peeing or brushing your teeth becomes an insanely funny affair. In multiplayer, you and a friend can work together to make the man pee. Work together and make the man pee! The Binding of Isaac is basically procedurally generated Hell Zelda starring a crying naked baby fighting malformed demons and monsters. It's also infinitely replayable thanks to its endless combination of levels, enemies, and literal hundreds of unique weapons to find. This is a violent, disgusting game, and it just f***ing rules. There are wet turds and from the ass everywhere. Piss and horrible wet turds and from the ass all over this game. Fucking watch your step. Membrane is a deranged action puzzle game about navigating the human nervous system as tiny creature things that shit pixels to create platforms. At least I think they're shitting pixels. It looks like they're shitting. Let's take a look. Yes, they're shitting. That's definitely shit coming out of their asses. But it's a good game. It's not a shitty game, it's a good game, but that's shit coming out of their ass. Doom is a peaceful, relaxing story of friendship and love in a world where everyone gets along. Just kidding, ass. Doom is a motherfucking death metal album cover come to life as a first-person, gut-wrenching action shooting game where you eviscerate the fucking hell out of monsters using guns, chainsaw, and chainsaw guns. So get fucked on, you fucking peace-loving baby. It's motherfucking Doom, motherfuckers. Sorry, I got really excited back there. That was a lot. I'm doing better now. God, that felt good. That was good. I needed to do that.
So what are your favorite weird, gross, messed up Switch games? Personally, I think the grossest Switch game is Super Mario. It's about a plumber who is also a doctor, and we've never seen him wash his hands before, and you know what that means? Toilet fingers during surgery. He puts his hands in the toilet, and then he puts his hands in you, and you got shitty, dirty toilet fingers inside your body, getting sickness everywhere. Nintendo. One of the highest grossing films of all time is also one of the ones that most people have either tried to forget or have forgotten just by existing.
I want to hear it.
Oh, woe is you, the man that loves Avatar.
Had it with you.
There's no darts. This is like what is this, like a new hipster thing where you're like, oh, everybody loves that movie, but not anymore, except for me. It's like a reverse.
I liked it after everyone hated it.
You can't be hip for the most popular film of all time. That doesn't make, you don't go against the grain loving the thing that made more money than anything. Let's take a look.
Well, Avatar 2 has been delayed yet again, and the sequel to one of the highest grossing movies in history that nobody actually seems to care about is slated to hit theaters December 17th, 2021, with its subsequent sequels dropping 2023, 2025, and 2027. Well, I care. I like Avatar, and I'm actually dying to see Avatar 2, and man, I am basically the only Avatar fan in the IGN office, and let me tell you, it sucks. A decade ago, moviegoers couldn't get enough of James Cameron's groundbreaking 3D sci-fi epic, but since Avatar's release, numerous other blockbuster cinematic universes have popped up in its wake to attempt to eat its lunch. The Fast and the Furious family kicked things into gear, and Star Wars saga had its reawakening, and when Avatar 1 came out, the Marvel Cinematic Universe was Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk, but when Avatar 2 drops, the MCU will consist of more than 24 films. After all that, the most common thing anyone has to say about Avatar is, who cares about Avatar? Or, wow, Avatar sure dropped the ball, and it drives me nuts. Why do I still care about Avatar? Well, it's complicated. Is Avatar good? It's interesting. It's a groundbreaking technical masterpiece, sure, but as a movie, well, if you want to be a reductive jerk about it, it's a live-action retelling of Pocahontas in space. To me, it's really more of a live-action retelling of Fern Gully in space, with a psychedelic sex scene and a kick-ass mech fight at the end. But hey, that's just me. Here's the thing. James Cameron has made two of the best sequels ever, Aliens and Terminator 2, both of which were released 7 years after their predecessors, and since the first films had laid solid foundations, Cameron's sequels hit the ground running, telling kick-ass stories with revolutionary, at the time, special effects. In the case of Avatar, Cameron developed an entire array of special effects technology, including a 3D camera system and new performance capture techniques, and blocked out not just a loose rule set for a fictional setting, but a whole ecosystem for Pandora, and that's all laying the groundwork for not just Avatar 2, but 3, 4, and 5, which have basically been shot back to back. Do you know what other massive franchise has shot 4 sequels back to back? None. Back to the Future and The Matrix and Avengers all did 2. Lord of the Rings did 3, but that's based on established lore that Tolkien spent decades fleshing out. But nobody's ever attempted more than 2 sequels in one go, even when it would have made sense. Like, say, making the final Star Wars trilogy of the Skywalker saga, which was an ace in the hole at the box office, or I don't know, adapting the 7 best-selling Harry Potter books in one go. Considering that sequels are basically the only thing that actually performs at the box office, why not try and streamline that process, like James Cameron is doing? The worst part about being an Avatar fan is that I don't know any other Avatar fans, and everyone I do talk to seems perfectly content writing off Avatar as a flash-in-the-pan sensation rather than stopping to examine what made it so exceptional and trying to imagine what 4 bank-shot sequels to one of the biggest blockbusters in history might bring to the table after a decade and change in development. Oh, and friendly reminder that Massive Entertainment, the studio behind The Division 2, is working on an Avatar game that seems like it could be right on schedule to launch alongside a new Avatar movie and next-gen game consoles. Wow, a persistent online video game with regular updates seems pretty well suited to a blockbuster movie franchise that's getting biennial installments. But hey, what do I know? I like Avatar. Anyway, are there any other Avatar fans out there beside me? Sound off in the comments, and everyone else, just feel free to fire off your hottest myopic reductive takes in the comments below. And while I got your attention, can we get True Lies on Blu-ray? I really want to watch that Harrier scene again. That's a good movie. True Lies is great, regardless of what you think of Avatar.
And we're back. Avatar is a very popular film, but there's actually a few factoids that you might not know about it. Did you know it took over 6 computers to make that movie?
They were huge!
And we're back, and Avatar still sucks, and no one cares. Thanks, Max, for that exciting update on Avatar 2. I can't wait to see what happens to Jane... Nithal.
Jane's selfie.
Sigourney Weaver,
Modest Yahoo.
master dude from that movie with the turkey baster.
You can't say that.
Everyone's excited for Avatar 2. Avatar is a very popular movie, but there's probably some things you don't know about it. So here are 5 Avatar facts. Number 1, that there's one real cat in the movie. Can you find him? Probably not, because you're never gonna watch him. What do you think? Can you name more characters in Gone with the Wind or Avatar?
That's a tough one, honestly.
That's really hard, right?
I've never seen Gone with the Wind.
The Wind is one of them.
I don't think that counts.
John.
John with the Wind. This is the guy John who farts a bunch.
We're going to leave now, and that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can catch more Up at Noon every weekend on IGN and now available on YouTube, the platform where they have more videos than anywhere else in the whole wide world.
Yeah, we thought it was a good idea to put our full videos on there. Imagine that. There's a whole playlist of those. You can go subscribe or bookmark or post-it note it or whatever you do with a...
What's that URL? I forget.
We can put it... I think we can entrench it in the video. Put it here, somewhere in there.
Put it over his head.
Yes.
Put
it
his
up
face.
there in the comments below or whatever. Anyway, thank you all for watching. We love you dearly, and this has been Up at Noon.
Thank you.
Should Spider-Man have a jet or whatever? I don't care.
I do. I think it's fine. If he
I think Spider-Man should have a canoe.